Myself Dr. Padmashri Patel from Microbiology Department, Sri PT Mehla College. Today we are going to discuss gaseous sterilizing agent. We have two options available in chemicals, liquid and gaseous for disinfection and sterilization process. Let us move towards the gaseous sterilizing agents. So as we can see here, gaseous sterilizing agents are nicely used to disinfect inanimate objects and to sterilize air in the enclosed area. We can use them in the vapor form, gaseous form or in aerosol forms. The options available with us is ethylene oxide, propylene oxide, beta-propiolactone, formaldehyde, hydrogen peroxide, etc. Ethylene oxide is excellent sterilizing agent with respect to its capacity to kill the vegetative cells as well as spores. It is having the capacity to kill the spores as well as vegetative cells, and so it has been accepted as a chemical sterilant. However, there are some of the limitations with that. Ethylene oxide is found to be explosive or maybe inflammable in certain cases when its concentration rises. So, it has been mixed with the diluent gases like neon, freon, etc. So, looking to its limitations of flammability and explosiveness, it has been mixed with the inert gases like neon, freon, carbon dioxide, etc. To prevent these accidents. It has been effectively used to disinfect these the things which have been packed even, wrapped even, right, in clothes and like that. Okay, so this is an excellent sterilizing agent used in hospitals and healthcare sectors. Looking at the practical applications of ethylene oxide, this has been found to be nicely useful disinfectant when we are using at a higher relative humidity and elevated temperature. They are nicely used in hospitals, industries and laboratories. It has a great penetration power just I said you, and the most advantageous applications of ethylene oxide includes its use for the sterilization of the disposable plastic, petri dishes, syringes, sutures, and catheters, and like surgical items. This is a schematic diagram of the ethylene oxide sterilizer, which is also called as chemiclave, and you can have a look over this instrument, how it looks like. And as you can see here that that materials after packaging can also be sterilized in this sterilizer. The things to be checked here is the proportion of the diluent gas and ethylene oxide, right, which is to be maintained in a closed chamber. At the same time, you have to maintain the relative humidity and temperature as well in the chamber. After the process is over of the sterilization, which will require 3 to 5 hours depending on the load, depending on the microbial content present over here, we have to remove the ethylene oxide completely from this chamber, and we have to flush the fresh air so that complete removal of the ethylene oxide will take place, which found to be toxic to the human being also. Let us move to the next chemical agent, beta-propiolactone. Actually speaking, this was historically used for sterilization of vaccines and sera, looking to its capacity to degrade automatically after a certain period of time. However, it has been very less in use nowadays. Next is a formaldehyde. It's a really very useful chemical in our laboratory, which is available in 3 forms: gaseous form, which is called as formaldehyde, which is used as a sterilizing agent; liquid, as you know very well, that it is used as a preservative, available in 37 to 40% concentration range; and the solid form of formaldehyde is called as paraformaldehyde. All these 3 actually can be used to disinfect the closed area and heat sensitive materials. You can find here the practical applications and limitations of this gas. Basically speaking, its mode of action is same like your ethylene oxide, which is causing alkylation of the functional groups present in the biomolecule like protein and nucleic acids. Coming to the hydrogen peroxide, it's a powerful oxidizing agent available to us readily in the medical stores and etc. So you can nicely use it even as a disinfection, for disinfecting your area for some surfaces like that. You can use, actually speaking, hydrogen peroxide as antiseptic or as a disinfectant. Antiseptic, as you know, that whenever you are applying it on the skin or tissue, it is said to be antiseptic, and for that you are going to use 3% concentration of hydrogen peroxide. And at elevated concentration, this can be used to treat the heat sensitive materials like soft contact lenses, surgical implants, plastic equipments, etc. to delicately handle these things, because after a certain period of time hydrogen peroxide is going to degrade to form a water and oxygen. These are some of the advantages and limitations. Particularly important for hydrogen peroxide is its oxidation power. It can cause peroxidation of the lipid membrane found around the cell, as well as it can also oxidize the vital components like protein, nucleic acid existing in cell. By that way, it is able to kill the organism. The last one is chlorine dioxide. Less in use, but still it can be nicely applied for disinfection of drinking water, wastewater, food processing units, etc. Because it is a chemical related to your chlorine gas, which is nicely used for chlorination of water. The chlorine dioxide has an added advantage that it can retain there for a longer period of time to release the chlorine for a sustainable good period of time to kill all the microbial cells present over there. So this is something about chlorine dioxide, and this is something about gaseous sterilizing agent. Thank you very much.